Alright, check it. I just got done rewatching this fight for like the 100th time, and damn bro, I'm still getting goosebumps. You know what I'm talking about. That crazy showdown where Bolo Yeung went head to head with Chuck Norris and everybody thought somebody was gonna die. Listen up, because I've been breaking down fights for years, and this matchup right here, this is the stuff of legends. We got the Chinese Hercules himself, Bolo Yeung, going toe-to-toe with America's roundhouse kicking machine, Chuck Norris. Bro, when these two titans clashed on screen, it wasn't just a fight, it was a damn war. Check this out, picture this scene. We're in some gritty tournament setting, sweat dripping, crowd going absolutely bonkers. On one side, you got Bolo Yeung flexing those tree trunk muscles, looking like he could bench press a Volkswagen. Damn son, this man was jacked, standing there like a brick wall made of pure destruction, those pecs looking like armor plating. The dude's famous words echoing in everyone's heads, "You have offended my family and you have offended the Shaolin Temple." But here's the thing, across from him stands Chuck Norris, and yo, this cat's got that ice-cold stare that could freeze hell over. Beard perfectly trimmed, stance locked and loaded like a coiled spring ready to explode. Chuck's thinking what he always thinks. I don't lose fights, I win fights. That's what I do. The man's confidence was unreal. Now listen, let me break down what made this matchup so epic. Bolo Yeung, this absolute unit, brought raw power that was straight up terrifying. We're talking about a bodybuilder who could throw hands like sledgehammers. His fighting style, pure brutal force mixed with traditional Chinese martial arts. When Bolo threw a punch, it wasn't just a punch, it was like getting hit by a freight train wrapped in muscle. The man's technique was all about overwhelming his opponents with sheer physical dominance. Those massive forearms blocking strikes like they were made of steel. His grappling game, insane! Once Bolo got his hands on you, it was game over. He'd muscle you around like a ragdoll, using his bodybuilder strength to turn martial arts into a demolition derby. But wait up, Chuck Norris brought something completely different to this fight, and it was wild to watch. While Bolo was all about that brute force approach, Chuck was like a martial arts surgeon. Precision, timing, and that legendary flexibility that let him throw kicks that defied physics. The man could launch his foot at your head faster than you could blink. Chuck's karate background gave him something Bolo couldn't match: distance control and lightning-fast combinations. We're talking about a world champion who knew how to pick apart bigger opponents with surgical precision. His side kicks, devastating. His roundhouse kicks, they could knock you into next week. The man fought like every move was calculated 3 steps ahead. Get this, the psychological game between these two was off the charts. Bolo would flex and intimidate, trying to get in Chuck's head with that menacing stare. "I will break you," he'd growl, flexing those ridiculous biceps. The intimidation factor was real. Most fighters would have folded just looking at this monster. But Chuck? No way this legend was backing down. The man had nerves of steel and would just stare right back with that trademark intensity. "Your move," his eyes would say, completely unfazed by all that muscle and fury. That's the mark of a true champion right there. Holy shit, when they actually started throwing down, it was like watching a chess match played with dynamite. Bolo would charge forward with those devastating power shots, each punch thrown with enough force to crater concrete. His strategy was simple but brutal. Get close, overwhelm with strength, and muscle Chuck into submission. Chuck had to fight the perfect fight to survive this onslaught, dancing in and out of range, using his superior footwork to avoid those tree trunk arms. Every time Bolo committed to a big power shot, Chuck would counter with lightning-fast combinations. It was bonkers to watch. Are you kidding me with how technical this got? Chuck would throw these picture-perfect combinations, jab, cross, roundhouse kick, while Bolo would answer back with these crushing overhead strikes that would split the air. The sound effects alone had people jumping out of their seats. But here's where it got really interesting. Bolo's conditioning was off the charts. All that bodybuilding meant he could throw power shots all day long. But Chuck's karate training gave him something different. Explosive bursts of speed that could change the entire fight in seconds. The turning point? Chuck realized he couldn't trade power with this monster. No joke, nobody was going punch for punch with Bolo and walking away happy. So what did Chuck do? He got smart about it. Started targeting Bolo's legs, using his superior kicking game to chop down the big man. That's insane strategy right there. While Bolo was looking for that one big knockout shot, Chuck was playing the long game. Every low kick weakening those massive legs, every quick combination adding up damage. It was like watching David fight Goliath, but David had black belts in 5 different martial arts. The crowd was going absolutely wild as these two legends pushed each other to the absolute limit. Bolo throwing everything he had, muscles straining, sweat flying with every devastating strike. Chuck moving like liquid lightning, his techniques flowing together like deadly poetry. Damn right this fight came down to who could adapt better under pressure. Bolo's raw power was undeniable, but Chuck's experience and ring IQ started showing. The man had fought world-class competition and knew how to solve problems mid-fight. For real, when the dust settled and one warrior stood victorious, it was Chuck Norris who had found the perfect formula to overcome seemingly impossible odds. His superior conditioning, tactical brilliance, and that legendary heart of a champion proved that technique and intelligence could overcome even the most fearsome physical advantages. Chuck Norris didn't just win a fight, he proved that in martial arts, the warrior who adapts fastest and fights smartest walks away victorious.
Chinese Hercules. Now.
Running! No!
Let's rewind to Chinese Hercules. This movie...
The girl dies.